Hello, everyone. Yes, let me just cut to the chase. Bisola has decided to dig her own, will I say, grave. I don't know if I'm allowed to use that word. But in Nigeria, where I come from, there's a saying that goes at us. When the gods wants to kill a man, they first of all make him mad. I think Bisola is towing that part right now. She has gone ahead to submit her fake petitions that are riddled with lies. Anyway, I want you to watch this video, and then we'll come back and expatiate a little more on that.
And the Lagos state government to intervene in response to threats to the lives of victims who recently spoke out about the experiences of sexual molestation involving the late Pastor T.B. Joshua. Victims from various countries have come forward with accounts of abuse suffered in the hands of the late clergyman, stating that they are currently facing harassment, cyberbullying, and threats from authorities and loyalists of the Synagogue Church of All Nations, SCOAN. A letter submitted by the Bisola Johnson Foundation to the office of former President Olusegun Obasanjo at the Olusegun Obasanjo Presidential Library in Abeokuta outlines the victims' demands for government intervention. The victims seek an investigation into their cases and protection from the threats they are currently facing.
Bisola Johnson Foundation has taken it up because there are lots of threats to life to the victims. So many of the victims, they have left the shores of this country, running around. Even some are hiding in villages. They're afraid for their life. You understand? So with me, I'm not running anywhere. It's better to die.
Bisola Johnson, speaking to 7 Point Media, explained that the petition has also been addressed to various authorities, including the Lagos State Governor, the Inspector General of Police in Nigeria, the Ministry of Justice, FIDA, and former President Olusegun Obasanjo. The petition, written by the victims and supported by the Bisola Johnson Foundation, aims to seek justice for those who faced molestation from the pastor. The victims, who bravely shared their stories of abuse, manipulation, and mistreatment under the influence of T.B. Joshua, were featured in an investigative documentary by the BBC, which gained nationwide attention. Videos depicting the victims' accounts, including instances of sexual abuse, have circulated widely. Many of the victims worked with T.B. Joshua for years without pay, believing their compensation was in heaven. They now speak out not to bring down the church, but to seek freedom from psychological torment and prevent others from experiencing similar abuses. In their petition, the victims emphasized the importance of freedom of speech and the right to share their stories of abuse and injustice. They call for immediate action from authorities, including an investigation into the allegations, protection for those who have come forward, a review of laws related to religious organizations, and condemnation of harassment and threats against whistleblowers. The victims are willing to undergo lie detector tests and face punishment if the allegations are proven false. The Bisola Johnson Foundation advises followers to base their beliefs on biblical teachings rather than blindly following pastors.
Okay, good morning, men of the press. It's wonderful to meet with you. We have some letters to some places, and we have for Nigeria Police Force, we have for citizens' rights. I think, okay, there are some around this area, right?
Right, the location where you know.
Ministry of Justice.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry, sir. Apologies. Citizens' rights. Then FIDA. FIDA is Yaba. Huh? Okay. Then we have Presidential Library. This is Abeokuta. No, we are not going to Abeokuta today. Yes. Agbeloba, Abeokuta. We have for governor here. We have for domestic violence. I think somewhere at Jobi Fele.
Domestic violence.
I have the address there. Ministry of Justice. Yeah. Bisola F. Johnson, President of Bisola Johnson Foundation. I'm here in respect of the letter Bisola Johnson Foundation would like to submit to FIDA. We are all Nigerians. Recently, there is a BBC investigation documentary against SCOAN, the Synagogue Church of All Nations, and their late GO. And it has been like 3 weeks, 1 month now. Nothing is done. What the victims alleged, according to what the media will say, yes, it's still allegation. And nothing is being done. The federal government of Nigeria is not saying anything. What was alleged, according to the media, has become international crime. And it has become a dirt on this nation. And now we have seen that the reason why visitors are being attracted to Nigeria is to bring dirt on this nation. Sexual allegations, lot of other things that have been, spoken against the late TB Joshua. And we want inquest into this matter because it's like everybody just keep quiet. So we are involving a lot of organizations. We have written to the police. We have written to Ministry of Justice. And this letter is for FIDA and other organizations, even Presidential Library to former President Olusegun Obasanjo. We don't want this to be swept under the carpet. We want inquest. Even the victims are now facing cyber bullies. They are facing threats. I'm one of the victims, and we have spoken our truth. People are facing cyber bully daily. Death threats are being sent to people. We don't want people to die, then the government will now be coming up. So we want inquest in this matter. We want protection for the victims. And this is why we are here. They have said their truth. Not because they want to drag anyone out or they want to drag any organization down. But they want people to learn. And they want these atrocities, this kind of crime to stop and to be minimal in our community. This is what we are asking for. We want government to come into this matter. Is synagogue too big for the government of Nigeria? This is the question we are asking. Because we have lived with TB Joshua when he was alive. He bought into different places. We want the government to come in. The victims are ready to submit themselves under lie detector so that the perpetrator can be brought into book, and people can learn and also be careful next time they go to places called church. My message to Nigeria at last: the problem with many Africans is religion. There is difference between spirituality and religion. We know that Nigeria, we are so religious, but unfortunately, we are not even close to God. So many people, they love going to church, they love going to mosque, they love going to where their faith hangs on. What we are saying is that whenever you go to these places, you must not forget your brain at home. There are lots of telltales. There are lots of, red flags in all these places where people are being brainwashed daily, where people are being hypnotized, where people are being reduced from human dignity. So anytime you go to these places, please don't forget your brain at home. This is my message to Nigeria. For me, I have been speaking out for the past 15 years. In fact, in few days' time, it will be 16 years. Yes, when I left Squan, 2008, and I've been speaking my truth. I left there, I recognized at that time that I cannot be here. I cannot be here because the way we are being treated. As old as I was then, I would be lie down on the floor and a sweep will be laid on my back, aside other manipulations and other inhuman treatments I went through. So after I left there, I began to speak my truth. But unfortunately, my voice was being drowned. They have larger platform. But I was not the only one that went through such inhuman situation. So some victims, you can't say there is time frame for any victim to speak out. Some people, maybe they deal with psychological problem, emotional problem, depression. So anytime they are ready could be a good time for them to speak out. And some victims, they saw how I have been laboring over the years and my voice was not going anywhere. So they went to the larger platform, which is the BBC. And BBC did investigation. BBC did not take their word for it. They investigated their claims for 2 years. BBC journalists even went to Squan and they were arrested for being shown up in front of Squan and taking pictures. And they wrote letters to the GO, present GO of Squan, but nothing came, nothing returned back to BBC. So they have to bring out the victims' voices. I worked for 14 years without being paid. I have a form that we were asked to fill that whatever you do there will be voluntary. I didn't sign mine, but many people signed theirs. So, and I was there under manipulation, brainwashing, and hypnotism, and sexual abuse as well.
Yes. First of all, let me go back to that adage I just talked about now, about the gods making whoever they want to kill mad first. Bisola is showing signs of madness now. It's very obvious. End is very, very near. Yes, let me explain that. She said that 16 years she has been against the church ever since she left the church, and she's been tarnishing the image of the church, all to no avail. 16 years, and the church never came after Bisola. Never for once did they open a case against Bisola, not even a petition for her to stop, the nonsense she has been doing. Okay, 16 years of freedom, that is not enough for Bisola. She, by herself, is taking this case to court. And now the church will be left with no other option than to defend themselves the legal way. And by so doing, Bisola's lies will be exposed before the judge. And like this documentary, or should I call it interview that she made here, you could hear where they made mention of the accusers willing to undergo any scrutiny and face the repercussion if they were found guilty of lies. That is exactly what's going to happen here. There is no how they will not find us they lied. Because just listening to her just now, I could even pinpoint about 3 or 4 lies she has told. She made mention of lying on the floor and being whipped. That never happened. The only time Bisola laid on the ground was when she came begging. You all saw the video. I think it's one or two of my videos. It's all over the internet. When she came begging to be reaccepted into the church, she was on the floor begging, not once, not twice. Then she left the church. It's been 16 years now. You had 16 years to lay petition against the same man you are after now. Now it's no more. You are coming out with your fake petition. No one is above the law in Nigeria. It is very easy for anybody to lay petitions. It's easy for anybody to drag anyone to court. I can easily do that even when I know I'm lying, like what Bisola is doing right now. But when you get to court, that's a different thing entirely. Is it that Bisola doesn't have a good lawyer who can advise her, or a lawyer is just the fraudulent type who is just out to push her to the extreme as long as he gets his pay out of it? Of course, no lawyer will stand for Bisola free of charge, which is a known fact. What is Bisola hoping to gain from this now, if not her own downfall? Never for once has this church threatened anybody, not even a single response to BBC, nor YouTube. The channel was cancelled, and not even an utterance from the church. Instead, they are doing their things the same way God has sent them. BBC came with their allegations. No one heard any response from the church. So why would they now send attackers after Bisola? Yes, there might be one or two, church members who are not happy, who are angry at Bisola, who might have said one or two things, like what I posted in my other video about, I've forgotten her name now, the message she sent to Prof X, a message of threat out of anger. That is a personal thing. That has nothing to do with the church. The church has no time for BBC. They have no time for YouTube. Who is Bisola that the church will have to? Okay, take this for example. She said most of the accusers have gone into hiding because of oppression and threats to their lives, because of, the church coming after them. Why is Bisola still roaming around? I believe if they should come after anybody, she should be the first target. How come she's still roaming around Lagos and no one has come after her? What kind of boldness does she have that others have gone into hiding and she is still there and not even a single attack on her? She calls herself the president of Bisola Foundation. I think that foundation should be, the police should be involved in this. They should interrogate her and know what a foundation is all about. You'll be shocked what you will uncover, how much Bisola must have siphoned from people. What about the money she went to America to steal in the name of TB Joshua, $2,000? What about the gifts she took, for herself, just under the pretense of being sent by TB Joshua? This petition, I pray it goes, maybe the court considers it. And then let us now stand before the court and before God and see how Bisola, secrets will come out and the repercussion will be paid. Those who are wise, the so-called accusers, will not even take part in this because they know it is not a legal thing. Matter is not just hearsay. You just come and say. You need to back it up with evidence. Bisola, up till now for 16 years, has failed to bring out just one evidence, just one. She said they lay her down on the ground and whip out, give her horse whip. Show us the scar. Some scars are permanent. Show us the scar, or if not, now the pictures you took in the past. Show us just one thing. This man raped you, but you kept going back there. This man, you said, slept with everybody there. The other lady said all the female workers at Squan don't have wombs. Some of them are giving birth right now. How is that possible? Bisola went to Squan as a call girl, which she claimed to be. She said she used to lodge in the hotel, sleep with married men, politicians all knew her. She went there as a self-confessed call girl. Now she came out now and she calls herself Evangelist Bisola. Where did she get that title from, evangelist? Now you are saying the same church where you got that title from is fake, but you are still using the same title. So does it mean you are fake also? Does it mean you are just a quack who claims to be what she is not? How comes amongst all the disciples that left, Bisola is one of the few. Bisola and Agomo. Agomo is suffering, can't even pay his rent. I heard they threw him out. How come Bisola cannot even have this, not even a big church, just a shack where you say, okay, people come together, not to talk of even performing miracles. Most of the other disciples came out. They have their churches going on. They are doing fine. They are performing miracles. They are healing the sick. Some are even prophets. What has Bisola got to show for it? None of the accusers, if you notice, came out with any spiritual gift from that church, because they have the spirit of Judas imbibed in them. Those who were loyal to God and to the church, I wouldn't say to the church, because whatever you do to the church or for the church, you're doing for God. Those who came with a clean heart, like that form she showed now that they were made to sign, that whatever they do there, they do voluntarily. I think that is a wise step from the church. You are not forced to sign. You are here to do the work of God. Whatever money the church gives to you is from the goodness of the church. You are not under any payroll, so you sign. If you don't want to sign, then no problem. You can be employed as a worker there, but you won't take part in discipleship, which is a very logical thing. Very logical thing. No wonder Bisola was never a disciple. She was just there in the church, receiving visitors, like she said. Never for once did Bisola preach on the altar. Never for once did she perform any miracle. She was just, in that enclosure of receiving visitors, which she abused. That position she really abused by duping visitors and lying to them that TV should send them. They sent her to collect money. She got nice gifts from Mr. Apomsiam. You might want to Google. Of course, I've got the video already. I think a week or two behind. You can go and check that, where the man was complaining about how Bisola came to Joppa. There are many instances like that. The church would not be forced to come out with all those things in defense of themselves, because it is our obligation to get a lawyer to stand for themselves. As Bisola is coming, the legal means now, which will be the end of this whole saga, the end of Bisola and the accusers. I don't think the accusers, like Cicely, will be stupid enough to come to Nigeria, because you know the story of Ruth Matthews. You see how she was found guilty, the one that laid allegations against Prophet Amoto Fufeyin, that he stole a child, only to find out she lied. Bisola was also involved in that case. Ruth was sentenced to 3 months imprisonment with the option of fine. I suppose she paid the fine now. Bisola has still not learned a lesson from that. She wants to take the legal way now. Maybe because people are clapping for her. Those people who lovers of lies, who in a group, in a YouTube page, pushing her, to move forward. Those people don't even care about Bisola. They don't love her. They just want drama. And when the real trouble comes, they will all back out. We know them. Stay tuned and see how this will all pan out. Thank you.